Welcome to my mini exploration about the fascination behind the Chriswatts case. This is a story that has captivated the minds of many. As I was looking into the many vids and articles about the case, I stopped and I thought to myself, why does this tragic and unsettling case have such a stronghold for people around the world? Well, for those who are unfamiliar with the case, Chriswatts is a man out of Colorado who gained notoriety in 2018 for the unaliving of his pregnant wife, Shanann, and their two daughters, Bella and Celeste.
A lot of it wasn't adding up.
The disappearance of a pregnant Frederick woman and her two children has captured the nation's attention.
This house is not complete without anybody here.
We see a lot of horrible stories where a husband kills his wife, but this one's different.
We're hearing from the suspect and his side of the story, a story police just don't believe.
The district attorney says that he believes that Chriswatts will never reveal the full details of how or why he killed his family. He went on to say that this is a case that is actually going to haunt the folks who worked on it probably for the rest of their lives.
Watts initially reported them missing, but later confessed to their murders. He received multiple life sentences without the possibility of parole. The case gained widespread media attention due to its extremely tragic nature and the subsequent revelations about Watts' extramarital affair with a woman named Nicole Kessinger, in tandem with the unaliving of his family. It drilled down the fact that crazy and evil does not have a specific look, and it can occur within almost anyone.
Chris Watts, W-A-T-T-S.
Wow. What's going on right now around your house?
Right now you got K-9 units, the sheriff's department. Everybody's like they're doing their best right now to figure out like if they can get a scent, see where they went. If they went on foot, they went in a car, or they went somewhere. And right now it's just like they've been on point. They're going through the house trying to get a scent, and hopefully they can pick something up to where it's going to lead to something.
What happened? Your wife came home. Tell me what's.
She came home from the airport 2 a.m. and I left around 5:15. She was still here, and like about 12:10 in that afternoon, her friend Nicole showed up at the door. Like I had texted Shanann a few times that day, called her, say but she never got back to me. But she wasn't getting back to any of her people as well, and that's what really concerned a lot of people. Is like she's not getting back to her. Like if she doesn't get back to me, that's fine. Like she gets busy during the day, but she didn't get back to her people, which was very concerning. And Nicole called me when she was at the door, and that's when I came home. And then walked in the house, and nothing was vanished. Nothing was here. I mean, she wasn't here. The kids weren't here. Nobody was here.
What's your wife's name?
Shanann, S-H-A-N-A-N-N.
What's your kids' name?
Bella and Celeste.
How do you spell Celeste?
C-E-L-E-S-T-E.
How old are your daughters?
4. Bella's 4. Celeste is 3.
And so, how many times did you try calling her?
I called her 3 times, texted her about 3 times, just to say, what's going on. Like because after I called her and texted her once, it's like maybe she was just busy. Like she had just gotten back. Like everybody's probably calling her from her trip. She just got back from Arizona, and I figured she was just busy. But when her friend showed up, that's what it was like. It registered. Like, all right, this isn't right.
Do you think she just took off? Do you think?
I mean, right now I don't even want to just like throw anything out there. Like, I hope that she's somewhere safe right now and with the kids. But I mean, could she just taken off? I don't know. But if somebody has her and they're not safe, like I want them back now. Like that's what's in my head. Like if they're safe right now, they're gonna come back. But if they're not safe right now, that's the not knowing part. Like if they're not safe. Last night I had every light in the house on. I was hoping that I would just ran over by the kids running in the door and just like barrel rushing me, but it didn't happen. And it was just a traumatic night trying to be here.
I'm gonna ask some kind of tough questions about your relationship with your kids.
My kids are my life. I mean, those smiles light up my life. And just like, last night, like during when they usually eat dinner, it was just like I miss them. Like, I miss telling them, hey, you got to eat that, or you're not gonna get your dessert. And just like you're not gonna get your snack after. I miss that. Like I miss them. Cuddle up on their couches. They have like a Minnie Mouse couch and a Sophia couch that they cuddle up on and watch, Bubble Guppies or something. And it was just like, it was tearing me apart last night, and I needed that. I needed that last night, and for nobody to be here last night and to go into their rooms and know that I wasn't going to turn the rain machines on, and I know that I wasn't going to turn their monitor on, and know I wasn't going to kiss them to bed tonight. It was that's why last night was just horrible. I couldn't do it. I want everybody to just come home. Like, wherever they're at, come home. That's what I want. So she's supposed to get home like 11. She got home at like 1:48. She got in bed about 2.
What was she going for? Like family trip or what?
It was a Thrive direct sales. It was a local event that was down there between a bunch of leaders in the company.
And that day she was back. I mean,
I left work early that morning, like 5:15, 5:30. So like she barely gotten into bed pretty much.
And this might be a tough question, but did you guys get into an argument before she left?
It wasn't like an argument. We had an emotional conversation, but I'll leave it at that. But I just want them back. I just want them to come back. And if they're not safe right now, that's what's tearing me apart. Because if they are safe, they're coming back. But if they're not, this has got to stop. Like, somebody has to come forward.
You spoken to her family, like her parents?
Yeah, they've been in constant contact, like every hour. I mean, everybody back in North Carolina and the East Coast. I mean, from Maine to Florida.
What is her parents saying to you? Like,
they're just like if they need to get on a flight, just let them know. Because I mean, they feel helpless right now because they're on the opposite side of the country. I mean, Colorado is. I mean, you can't just drive around and look. I mean, it's just like you wouldn't really know what you're looking for. That's what the cops pretty much told me. That first day, I was like, I want to get out and drive around. They said, you wouldn't know what to look for.
Last couple questions. What is law enforcement? What have the police or the sheriffs or your neighbors? What's police saying to you?
Right now, what they're doing right now is with the canines in the sense. I think this is the biggest thing. This is the biggest thing they've done so far because yesterday Frederick Police Department did all the searching of the house and tried to gather whatever information they could. And with the detectives, officers, and sergeants, and today obviously with all the activity that's around, there's a lot going on around here, and I really hope that all this can lead to something positive.
What did your neighbors? Did they see anything? Did your neighbors see anything?
No, like the police department went door to door asking, like, cameras and everything, just like nothing.
And my last question, if you have any of them, so feel free to step in. My last question is, if your wife can see this, if she can watch these, what would you like to tell your wife and your kids?
Shanann, Bella, Celeste, if you're out there, just come back. Like, if somebody has her, just please bring her back. I need to see everybody. I need to see everybody again. This house is not complete without anybody here. Please bring her back.
The family seemed like the regular American family, a husband, a wife, and 2 adorable children. The contrast between this facade and the horrifying reality provides a perplexing puzzle for those trying to understand what exactly went wrong. People are drawn to the complexity of the investigation, the psychological aspects, and the legal proceedings that followed. It seems as though there was so much of the case documented online for people to dive into. The case unfolded in an age of social media where information spreads rapidly. Public discussions, speculations, and armchair detectives' work became an integral part of the narrative. The engagement on platforms like Reddit and YouTube added a huge layer of communal investigation that fueled everyone's intrigue. Many psychologists and experts have attempted to analyze the mind of Chris Watts, exploring motives behind his actions, the desire to understand the psychology behind such a crime as a large curiosity to the fascination.
Prosecutors did get their man. The rest of us were left with countless questions.
Contact 7 Chief Investigator Tony Kovaleski sat down with 2 of Colorado's most respected police psychology experts to get their take on what transformed Chris Watts from doting father to cold-blooded killer.
Christopher Watts' lies, an ever-evolving story, gave police psychologist Lottie Flater and John Nicoletti a pretty clear picture of who he is and why he saw murder as the best way to get what he wanted.
He was a smart guy in some ways, but he so underestimated the police ability to pick up the clues that would lead right back to him.
And that leads us into the interrogation room at the Weld County Sheriff's Office and the unraveling of a killer's account.
Like, I want them back home, like.
But you know they're not coming back home. You know that.
You hear the desperation in his voice. He knows he's starting to get pinned.
There's that family picture. Yeah. She says, those are your baby girls. Not a single tear.
Again, another point, if you had remorse and grief about killing your kids, that would be very intense for you. He's looking at it as a cognitive exercise.
No tears. When he's talking about killing the girls, no tears. The only times we saw tears is when they were talking about what's going to happen to him. That's pretty, I mean, that is very, very significant.
During that interrogation, as time passed, the story Watts was telling changed. Remember, he tried to tell police that he killed his wife Shanann in some sort of rage after he learned she killed their 2 daughters.
It's desperation. I'm getting caught, so I got to come up with something.
I freaked out. She did the kids.
Okay, it's up. He's caught. That's
reality setting in.
Now he's upset.
It's over.
Because he's caught. This is the first time you see emotion, because now he's caught. You didn't see emotion when his family was killed. You see emotion now that he's caught.
A little later in the interrogation, an odd but potentially telling moment as experts try to understand the mind of Christopher Watts, the mind of a cold-blooded killer.
Put some pizza?
I feel bad eating any of your food.
No, it's fine.
Lose your appetite. I'll have pizza, I don't care what kind.
He just explained how he stuffed his children into a tank.
Of oil and water.
Of oil and water. And he says, yeah, I'll have a pizza.
Are you kidding me?
Yeah. That is one evil man.
John?
Like I said, you don't have to have a mental illness to be evil.
I think the entire country is trying to understand the psychology. He looks like the all-American guy. How does this happen?
Ted Bundy looked like the all-American guy.
Both John and Lottie agree the obsession many of us have with this case is potentially unhealthy because trying to explain the reasoning and ultimately understand why will likely never be answered.
In conclusion, the Chris Watts case captivates us for shocking nature, the stark contrast between appearance and reality, the allure of true crime, and the impact of social media and the quest for understanding the human psyche. As we delve deeper into this tragic story, maybe reflect on the lessons it offers about the complexities of human behavior. Thanks for watching.